All right, good afternoon. My name is Andre Thompson. I'm here to share some of my thoughts. Um, I hear a lot of conversation about racism, not racism. There's no such thing as systematic racism. It's all something that is made up. People just want handouts and pity. People are being dramatic. My first response is one. In order to make that statement correctly, you have to be able to walk in the shoes of the person that you're making that statement from. If you're not walking in our shoes, then please save us the faulty assessments based upon your own biasness and in some cases just straight racism. You don't see what you don't want to see. And sometimes you don't see something because we need a mirror because we can't see what we are. So we overlook it because it comes off as normal. I know a lot of people say, well, you're being dramatic, but I'm not being dramatic because I'm talking from firsthand experience. Everybody in our community, I'm talking about the black community, are taught directly or indirectly how to operate around police officers so they don't get locked up unjustly or get killed. Make sure your hands are on the steering wheel. Do not make any sudden movements. Roll down all four windows. Always be polite. Announce when you're reaching for something. All things that all of us practice one or two, some of us all of those, when it comes to interacting with a police officer. Not because we're guilty of anything by law, but because we realize that we always are scrutinized and are guilty of being black. When we walk into a store, the constant asking, do you need help? With the look of concern. Not to really assist, but because you've prejudged the individual who have walked in by the color of their skin. You want them out of your vicinity, out of your store, out of your business as fast as possible. Or if they're there, stay close enough because they might be stealing something. Not because they did anything that is suspicious by actions unbiasedly, but simply because the tone of their skin to you comes off as being a thief. The way people grab their purses or grab their wallets, the way people think twice about bringing out or discussing anything valuable in our presence because it seems as if they think we're all thieves. We're all thugs, as they may put it. No, we're just people like you. The fact that we can so casually have those thought processes, not notice them, shows that it's not just one or two people. It's not just one or two small organizations. It's an entire culture and system around the systemic racism. Which proves my point, there is systemic racism. From the way we're taught. It's ironic that everything is black that is evil and anything that is white automatically seems to be good. It's embedded in our thought process from birth. That is not the reality or the truth. That is just what we've been taught from experience. I said earlier that every one of us in our community, the black community, has been taught directly or indirectly how to operate around police officers. We're either taught by someone who's looking out for us, who has been through it, or we're taught indirectly from experience that we don't have the same privilege of freedom and justice as everyone else. That we're prejudged and we're looked at as guilty until proven innocent. Because the first time you're proven innocent, it is still scrutinized. There might be an error there. You have to prove it twice. Because the innocentness of the situation is unbelievable that you need something to reiterate that it is. And you're telling me that is no racism? Jacob Blakes was shot at 7 times in the back. 4 bullets penetrated his body. Because he walked away from the cop and decide to go into his vehicle with his 3 kids. The police officers are men who are trained to de-escalate situations. Not escalate it. They're not hitmen. There's many opportunities they had if they felt threatened by him walking away or entering his car for them to subdue him without attempting to kill him. Then just a few days later, or perhaps a few hours later, there's a young man who happens to be white, who is 17, with a gun around his neck, having attended a Black Lives Movement protest after curfew, as some would state that those protesters were there after curfew. He was there too, so he was also breaking the law, saying that he was protected. He was not served and protected anything. He was escalating a situation. Not once have anyone walked up to me with a gun in their possession have ever gave me the first reaction to think of peace. I first think of attack or being attacked. So he wasn't there genuinely to make sure that there's peace. He shot 2 men and killed them and injured a 3rd individual. And as he's approaching a cop with a gun around his neck, and people shouting, he killed someone, he shot someone, he shot someone, he was able to walk past the same cops that have tased, tear gassed peaceful protesters without guns, just with words. And you're telling me there's no racism? If he was black, he would have been shot because they thought he was threatening. If he was black walking away with a gun, he would have been asked for an ID. Jacob Blakes was asked to show his ID just because he was present and his color of his skin. But yet still, Kyle was not asked anything when he was approaching the cops with a gun around his neck and people yelling that he has shot someone. I know we're going to talk about the records and who the person was and what they have done in the past. But if you look at the reality of the situation, this information was not part of their decisions at the moment. What was is a systematic racism that is constant and consistent throughout this entire country. It is time to stand up for justice if we really want to have true peace. Thank you.